Welcome, all you Cancer signs, to your weekly energy update. We're going to be looking at the week of May 8th through May 15th. These are also timeless, so if you're coming across this video outside of that time frame, I'd still trust your intuition and watch the video because I'm sure there are messages for you. If you are watching this during that week, May 8th, of course, is Mother's Day in the United States, so happy Mother's Day to all of you who mother others or are those nurturers for others. We also have, at the end of the week, on the 15th, we have the full moon in Scorpio, which is a total lunar eclipse, so a lot of moon lunar energy happening too, which Mother Luna is also a very mothering and nurturing energy. So this week, we have a lot of that beautiful divine mother energy happening for us. So we're going to be zeroing in, asking how and where in our lives can we mother ourselves? And, like that, where can we use that self-nurturing in an area of our life? So we're going to start off by pulling a card here from these Crystal Medicine Oracle. And as a side note, any of the cards I use in a reading, I list them down in the description box below the video. Just give this a little shuffle. Let me just mix these up. All right. And of course, Cancer signs, you are ruled by the moon as well. So this energy is even more expanding that nurturing and mothering energy that you naturally have. So as you go throughout this week, you might feel like just this urge to really care for others, but the message from the Creator for this week is try to turn as much of that as you can inward to give yourself that energy for this week. So you don't have to do it forever, but at least for this week, try to give it to yourself. So actually that's the one they went right there. So I was going to say, for our Cancer signs, what do you want them to know about this nurturing? And you have soul retrieval, middle world medicine, and you have Galena is the crystal, and it's card number 29. So we will dive into here and see what message and medicine comes with this for you. So you've attracted this card for this week as there's an opportunity for you to receive a soul retrieval healing. Throughout life, we all at some point experience a trauma that can create a fracture in our energy. Most people can look back on their life and pinpoint an experience that shaped them differently and caused them to relate to life in a different way. When we experience a frightening event or a trauma, a piece of us, a positive aspect, is frozen and left in that time and place within that energy body. Healers and shamans work powerfully to heal these fractures using a process called soul retrieval. And this is where they travel through timelines to the spirit world to retrieve that energy and to bring it back into the physical and into the present moment, where this energy can heal that original fracture at a deep level. So do you feel like a part of you is missing? Do you have a memory of a trauma that keeps raising its head? Do you feel unsettled as though you're in need of some healing? Now is the time to reconnect to the positive energy that you had before the traumatic experience. And it's time to heal this old trauma so you can free yourself from this fragmented energy in your life. It's time to reclaim this aspect of yourself and live your life with a deeper sense of peace. Make sure to do a ceremony to assist you in the process, or find a healer or a shaman to work with you. I love that. So whatever piece in your life where you felt like something was lost, like you left something behind. And I know when I was younger, I walked into the house. This was way back in the olden days, as I call it, when we had a lot of, back in those days, it was back in like the 70s, there was a lot of latchkey children because it was safer back then. And So you just have a key to walk home as a young child and go into the house. But the first time I walked in, because my brother went to next door to play and I walked into the house alone for the first time, it fried my brain where I felt scared and I felt unsafe somehow. And so it kind of split off in a different direction. And I love how when I went to counseling later in my life, they did this, I think it's ADMR, something like that. I forget the exact name of it, but it's where they do like sound on your left side and your right side, and they kind of take you back into your past to the place where your brain got fried is what I called it, right? And it allowed me to refile things as we got to the root of that fear, and I felt safe, and I started refiled things differently in my brain. And that's kind of what this feels like too, is this energy that you have that you feel you lost, and this thing that happened, you're able to go back and gain back your power, this strength that you had. And it was funny. It was so cliche because when we went back, through the past, we got back to all that place, and I saw myself walk in one side of the kitchen from outside as that little child that got freaked out, but on this side I walked in as my adult self, and it was like a picture in picture. I could see from both points of view at the same time. And as a little kid, I saw my adult self and thought I was cool. And, as my adult self, I looked at that little child and I was like, oh, wow. And I walked over, picked up my little inner child and told him everything was going to be okay. And I held on to him. And it was like, that's like this healing thing that can happen. You can get your energy back and retrieve that. So they wanted me to share that with you. So I hope you enjoyed that story. And then the medicine here is middle world. And the middle world is another world the shamans would journey into to receive specific medicine and energy for healing. So this world is the spiritual realm of the physical plane, or what they call the non-ordinary reality. Healers and shamans would travel there to connect to the spirits of everything in nature and receive the energy medicine of things such as the mountains, the planets, crystals, the moon, the sun, elements, trees, and everything that exists on the earthly plane. You can also travel down through the timeline in the middle world to connect to the energy of the experiences that have happened in life. Many healers work within this realm to facilitate soul retrieval and heal issues and traumas of the past and the future. You can travel to this world by calling upon your power animal, closing your eyes, and dropping into a trance-like state with the intention of traveling to this sacred realm and allowing your spirit to leave your body. So definitely grounding yourself, having your power animal join you and lead you, because they're the ones with that beautiful energy. They can help you go back into that place as well. So if that resonates with you, definitely that's something that you can look into. We're also going to pull a card here from the chakra reading cards and just see what chakra energy can be used to help you with this as well. So definitely this mothering, it's almost like, okay, I understand now. Sometimes it takes me a sec, right? But they are showing me that's what they wanted, why they wanted me to tell you the story of your bigger self going back and looking at that inner child, because that's what this is all about, right? How can you mother yourself? How can you parent yourself? Go back as this, adult, powerful being that you are now. Go back and embrace and pick up that little child and help them get that energy back. So that makes sense. All right, so what else? What else for our Cancer signs? What chakra? Okay, that one right there. Yep, and you got flexibility, the solar plexus chakra here, the number 9. And I kind of feel like this is the gateway that you go back to retrieve this power. And we're going to put this right here for now. And I love this 9 though too, because the 9 is the Hermit card in the Standard Tarot, and it is about, finding within yourself what you're looking for. So there is this soul retrieval energy going back, and this even kind of looks like the Hermit card, where they go back and they usually have a bright lantern, which is actually your higher self that helps you in your journey going back. So these definitely work well together here. And you've called this card to you for this week to encourage you to invite more flexibility into your world. The nature of life and our experiences are constantly inviting us to find a state of flexibility. When you can surrender to these messages, they will allow and embody a more flexible state of being. This will bring in abundance of ease and grace as you find yourself in the flow. Have you been feeling a little rigid in your thoughts or ideas lately? Maybe even a little stuck in your ways? If so, it's time to practice the art of flexibility. You may be holding on to something in your life a little too tightly, and now it's time to let go and allow some new energy to flow in. It's easy to get caught up in trivial ideas and thoughts, especially if you have strong belief systems in place in your life. However, at this time, it will be beneficial and very healing to look at some of these outdated ways and beliefs that could be wreaking havoc in your world. Wreaking havoc in your world. Take some time to tune in and see what no longer serves you, and take the steps to bring about a little more flexibility. This card could also mean that you're being too rigid with a particular person, and that it's time to give them and yourself a little slack. Flexibility is available to you right now, so let it in and allow for a life with a little more ease and grace. And the affirmation for this card is, I am free-flowing and flexible. So I really like that, because there is, with whatever happened that caused this traumatic event where you feel you lost your energy, you created very strong walls and rigid rules for your life to protect yourself. And so this is about this revisiting and allow yourself to be flexible, cutting yourself some slack, not blaming yourself. And we're going to get some more clarity here too, but I imagine there's some forgiveness of the past, allowing things to transform and translate into your life too. Just move these down a little bit here. And I'm going to pull from this tarot deck here. It's the, and I probably murder her name, the Nicoletta Sassoli, or something similar to that. We're just going to see what else the Creator would like all of you Cancer signs to know about this week with this soul retrieval and this mothering yourself. And I love the solar plexus, not solar plexus, the sacral chakra, the orange chakra has to do with your relation to another. The root chakra, the red chakra, is about how we relate to groups. This is one-on-one, and then the solar plexus is how you deal with yourself. And so there is this extra emphasis here that this has to do with your interaction with another individual. So let's see what else they want you to know here. Cancer signs. Okay, they want these two for here. What else? Nope, none of those, they said. Okay, they do want this one and this one for here. And then for the middle here. Okay, they want this one and this one. Just get these all arranged, and we'll start over here. Yep, and you have the Chariot here, card number 7. And Chariot is beautiful because it is, and oh my gosh, look at, here's the mother and the child. You just can't make this up. This is crazy. I love it. And yeah, they had me choose this specific deck. So, because normally it's just an individual behind a chariot, like two horses or two sphinxes or something like that that are pulling the chariot. But this is all about your power of choice, that no matter what comes into your life, we get to choose what story we apply to it, and we get to choose what emotion we feel through it. And, whatever this situation that happened there, we only knew when it happened, we were so young, we just had these external opinions of how we were supposed to feel about it and what it was supposed to mean to us. And so we, whatever we did to survive in that moment, now we can go back and we can choose to look at it differently. We'll see what else comes up here. But this is all about this power of choice, that you ultimately get to choose what anything means to you and how you're going to feel as you go through it. And when I first heard that, I was like, you know what? I don't feel like I'm making a choice. I feel like when this thing happens, this is how I feel. This thing's happened. This is what it means, But then the Spirit and the Creator, they, of course, were very gentle with me and showed me, if you slow down time, you could see where a decision was made. Because, like I was saying, when we're younger, we're conditioned, we're told what something's supposed to feel like, what something's supposed to mean, and it's reinforced over and over again, where it becomes our habit to think that, and then it becomes our reaction, where it does happen that fast. But if we take a deep breath when the emotions come up and calm ourselves and just put this huge pause on what's happening, then we can see that we can make a different choice on what something means instead. So I love that. And then you have the Emperor. Yep, and here you are on your horse. So the Emperor, here's your little child riding the horse, riding onto victory. The Emperor is a very powerful card. Fours are about stability. These are two major arcana cards, which means this is life-changing things. This is life-altering information that you're getting through this experience, because as you go back, you realize that you do have this power. And the Emperor, there's like two different sides of the Emperor card that Spirit brings to me. One is that, there's this loving Emperor that everyone does love. And it's because all they care about is the kingdom. They're not looking at their own interests. They just want to share that love and to have everyone just be successful, and to have all this, the kingdom just get along together and have all this love that flows between them. And they just, the kingdom becomes successful because of that. But within every one of us is a little child. We talk about this inner child, and when our little inner child, the human side of us feels unsafe, like we were talking about earlier, when it feels unsafe or out of control, it freaks out, it sounds the alarms, and it pushes out the blood out of its brain. So we actually go out of our minds, literally, because the blood leaves our brain and it goes into reaction mode, that fight or flight. It wants to use all that energy to either run like heck or to fight and be safe. And so in those moments, we act out of our minds, and so we move from being this loving Emperor into only self-preservation and trying to control everyone else, gain more control, take control away from others. So that changes from a loving Emperor to a dictator or a tyrant. And so there's these two ways that we look at life, and as you discover and get back this loving piece of yourself, then you realize you don't have to control everything outside of you like you felt before, and that's where this flexibility comes into. Let's see what else we have here. So you have the Three of Wands, and Wands is your drive, your passion, your ambition, your energy, and the Three of Wands is about changing the direction on where you're investing your energy. So instead of maintaining these walls of protection, maintaining all these old memories that have just been painful, it's about transforming those and changing that energy into a different direction. So I really love that, because it really is about you're getting this energy back as well. And then you have the Tower. Yep. So the Tower is this beautiful, again, this message of that life happens for you and it doesn't happen to you as well, and that there's things that are being removed from your life because they no longer serve you, and they're being removed so that you can have new things. So this removal of this old beliefs, this old way of feeling and thinking, is coming into your life. And again, this is another major arcana. So you have this huge change that's happening. And it goes back really to the Wheel of Fortune card for me too. They are so intertwined, and it kind of involves this Chariot as well, because the Wheel of Fortune card for me means that before we came down here, we chose what character we were going to represent us, so I chose, this Bretta Zen character that I'm going to live my life, and this is when I'm going to come down, and this is when I'm going to leave. And I have all these fated events, including this one, of all the stuff that I wanted to experience in this life on purpose, for a purpose. And when I realize that I've chosen all of these events, and that I get to choose within each of those events what it means and how I feel, it transforms from feeling like I'm on an out of control drama train that's about to leap off the tracks and explode, to where it's more of a monorail, where it's on this track that is connected, and so it's smooth moving, has all its stops that happen on purpose, for a purpose. And I move from this feeling of being a victim to being a victor, because life doesn't happen to me, it happens for me. And then the Tower comes in, that, here was this fated event, there was all these things that were happening in my life, but in order for me to experience this next fated event, this one has to be removed out of my life. And it can be a relationship, it can be some sort of situation like a job or education, or it can be something about my body, or my finances, or my possessions. This thing gets removed for me so that I can experience the next thing. And that's what this is happening here, is this being brought up for you to realize that you experience this on purpose, for a purpose, but it no longer serves you. And so it's time to nurture that, to go back and retrieve what you felt you lost, and so you can gain your power back, where you realize you are the emperor of your loving kingdom. You're not at the whim of some dictator out there. What else do we have here? Yeah, you have the 10 of Cups. Cups are your emotions. 10 of Cups is about just ultimate fulfillment in your emotions. And this makes sense this is what happens when you go through this journey. It's so worth it. And the 10 is about an ending of an old emotion and beginning of a new, going to the new level of emotions in your life too. So it's definitely worth it to go through this, because this is like ecstasy, or joy. You just feel so full and so complete that you might have felt like your emotions were missing or empty before, but this experience, this going back and healing this, does make you feel whole and complete. Yep. And then you have the 3 of Pentacles. And the 3 of Pentacles is your outside world, and the 3 of Pentacles is about finding your authentic self. And it's this movement away from what people think, trying to make everyone happy. You have naysayers who are, telling you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that, you're not being who I want you to be, blah, 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 blah. And then you have other people that are praising you and just suggesting you can do things differently. But there's all this opinion in the outside world that draws you off of your authentic path of you authentically expressing the true you. And I really feel like this whole kind of journey that you're on, you get to retrieve, you get yourself back through this process, where you've been fearing that you're not worthy to be whole and complete and to feel this, that there's this change that's happening within you with this process, that you are believing it. You're like, yes, I am powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being, and I get to be whole and complete. I get to feel this wholeness. I get to express myself without fear to the world. So I love that. Then your final messages for this week from the Creator is going to be from this Chakra Love deck. I'm just going to see what did you want to that one there. What else? What's your final messages? Okay, that one there. Well, they almost look exactly alike. And then what else? Anything else? And final pass. Okay, there you go. So we'll start off with these since they made themselves known. You have signs. There will always be signs to guide you on your true path. So you are being guided, definitely. If you're unsure, which I doubt, you being Cancer signs, that you wouldn't know what this is about because you are so in tune with your emotions, because you are a water sign. Cancer signs, you're so in touch with the moon, which is all about our emotions. You understand how the moon cycles impact you with new moons and full moons and everything else. So you definitely just look for the signs and you'll find it. And they do have this safety. I love this because it says, in the hurricane of life, a strong foundation will keep you safe. So this strong foundation we talked about with this fours, you do find the safety again in yourself. So, when I talked about that little kid that I was, and I went over and I picked myself up, I felt safe in the arms of my bigger self. And so I love this coming in there for you. And then you have just balancing your entire chakra system. Embrace the balance between earth and spirit. Definitely, there is this, when I talk about your higher self here too, when you realize you're so much more than the physical self that you are this mighty, powerful being here, is you do this hermit, journey and go within, and you do connect to this powerful being that you are, and you get to feel this wholeness and this completeness. You do understand that you're so much more than this human that went through this, right? When I talked about with the Tower card, how your soul chose to come down here and all these things, when you realize all your life you chose it, when you move from that victim to that victor mode, right? You understand, instead of oh, why is this happening to me? I changed to, why is this happening to me? Why did I want this to happen? What do I want to learn from this? So, it changes from, me whining and wanting more cheese to, really looking at life through new eyes. So I love that. Yeah, and then you have another balancing. So all things work best in conjunction with all things. Yeah. Yep. So that's definitely that everything is on purpose for a purpose, is kind of what I'm picking up from that for your reading here. Everything happens on purpose for a purpose, and because you ordered it. And, I know sometimes I didn't order this, and they're here's your little order form with your signature. You're like, oh, okay, well, why did I order this? And that's kind of this beautiful empowerment that's coming for you. So I love this for you, Cancer signs. I'm going to leave the reading there. They don't have anything else they want to add. But if you are looking for more messages of love from above, in addition to these weekly energy updates, I also put out monthly readings for each zodiac sign and a few other types of readings and videos throughout the month. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and be notified immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click this like button, also click the subscribe button. That'll give you access to this notification bell. When you go in there, if you select the all option, then you'll be notified of any new videos that come out on this channel. Also, doing those things helps my channel grow in a very wonderful way, and it helps spread the love, because when you like a video and share a video or comment on a video, subscribe to a channel, those things make the YouTube algorithm so excited it wants to share the videos of the channel with other people as well. So if you feel inspired to do any of those things, I am definitely grateful for that. Also, these are general readings. If you're looking for even more specific information or specific answers for your specific life, I do offer personal readings, and all that information is in the description box below. All right, all you beautiful Cancer signs, as you flow through this beautiful Mother Luna energy this week, please know that every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. You have an amazing week. I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. But in the meantime, you hang in there and you take care.